All right, so we're gonna try something new. Mobility Monday. Um, First thing in the morning, I've had my coffee now, and I have some tips for you. So for me, I know if I have to get out a mat, I'm probably not going to do yoga for the day. So I know so many people who are like, okay, I have to get showered, I have to put on my exercise clothes, I have to get my mat out, I have to get the conditions just right and find the perfect video. And I don't have time for all that. Like, I've got 2 kids. I'm doing business things. I'm managing social media. I'm taking care of senior citizens for my W-2 job, and I just don't have the spoons for that sort of thing. I hit my weekly, smoga group, but that's really as far as I get with getting out my mat. But on the day-to-day stuff, I have chronic pain, so if my wrists hurt, I'm not going to sit there and worry about getting out my mat, right? Like, why are we stressing about getting a full-blown exercise with all this equipment and all these things when all we really need is wrist exercises? All we really need is to find a way to carve out some time to work on our wrists. Wrists were probably my biggest problem area when I was in high school. Nobody knew why. They just kept telling me it's probably carpal tunnel. No big deal. Just put on a brace. Well, it wasn't carpal tunnel. It was lupus. But we didn't know that. We had no idea. We had no frame of reference. I don't know what's different for other people. I only know my body's experience, right? So if I don't realize that the clicking in my wrist was not normal, I mean, I know lots of people who their joints crack and make noises all the time. It doesn't feel great, so something's wrong. But what do you do from there? For me, the turning point on my wrist health was realizing I took a yogi flight school is what it's called. I adore them. I highly recommend joining one of their live classes. They often do like free workshops. Usually once a month, they'll do a free workshop for handstands. Even if you don't have the goal of doing handstands, if you have wrist pain, or if you wanted to ever try to do a handstand, go ahead and give it a try. It's free, right? Yogi Flight School is by far one of my favorite resources that I have used to date. That said, wrist pain. The one that got me was in the Yogi Flight School. They taught what they call flicky flicky, right? And it's literally just like taking your hands, like you're flicking water off of your hands onto like the mirror or whatever. I mean, I know this is how I literally will clean my mirror in the morning. If I notice there's drips, I get my hot water real hot and I just do this. But anyway, so just doing this open and close, really getting that flick sound going, right? And then sometimes I'll even, like right here is where I'm currently feeling the stretch. There's a little bit of a pull there. So I'll go like this and just kind of carve out the motion that's stuck. That was a good pop. But see, and now I'm back to full range of motion without sticking again. A lot of times when we have pain like that, it's caused from the fascia in the body sticking somewhere that it shouldn't. So in this case, my fascia was sticking probably about right here. You can see the blood is flowing through it again. It's angry now. It's like, oh, yes, give me that blood back. But as you can see, I mean, I'm able to go back to flicking, and it doesn't feel tight anymore. So just listening to your body's cues, like there's nothing that taught me to do this ugly little claw thing, but my body said, hey, it's locking up right here, twist a little bit, and then it broke loose around over here and was able to function again. Not every part is going to be as noticeable. Not every little change from whatever exercise somebody is giving you is going to be as noticeable as something like that. I use that as my example because wrist pain is something that I'm very familiar with. And listening to my body was not something I was great at when I was a teenager. That's a skill that I've honed over the last few years of doing yoga and teaching and real embodiment practices. Rather than, as of like 5 years ago, my embodiment practice was get drunk so it doesn't hurt anymore. Well, Lupus says that's not an option anymore. Lupus says you shouldn't have done that in the first place. But doing those little habits a little bit every day, you'll start to be more familiar with your body and what's normal, what's out of place, what's not working. You'll be able to determine at a quicker speed. Like when I started my my pain relief journey, for me, I would have to sit there and do that flicking motion for like a solid minute and a half. Like, I'm not even kidding. I would just sit there like this and put 90 seconds on my timer and just do this. I would do it when I was driving in the car. I would do it while I was at work, and then I'd kind of shake it off, because, again, typing, that's a common reason that one happens. But, like, lots of different little things would agitate my wrists, and I would spend much more time trying to track it down. But over the last few years, I've just been better at being able to listen to where my body needs issues or needs support, right? Where it has issues. So all that to say, over time, you won't have to do the same rescue methods over and over and over as long as frequently, things like that, but they're there whenever you do need them. They're there so that when pain comes, you know how to counter it and get back on the right alignment for your body, right? Similar with back pain. Like, I'm hunched over right now. Oh. So I'll practice putting my shoulders over my hips. Sometimes I'll even put my hands behind my back to try and recenter that alignment. Take a good couple of breaths so that the spine starts to stretch back out again. And voila, I'm sitting the way I'm supposed to be. I'm a chronic sloucher, but if I can do it, I'm pretty sure anybody could. See you next week.